Okay, so let me just share my screen. Um, so all of you can see my screen, I guess. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, wonderful. Um, okay, so okay, so today's today's topic is understanding imagery, painting with words. So, like from till now onwards, we have just studied, how things we have written, but now how to visually represent those things as well. Like understanding imagery and painting with words. So it's like more of a, kind of, like I showed you in my book as well. Every poetry, everything is being visually depicted with a painting or something. So that's what we are going to discuss today, that how an imagery helps you to understand something, and sometimes it helps you to summarize the whole context and everything into one simple thing, and that's how you can actually like represent your poetry or say a lot of things but without saying anything, right? That's how visually something can affect many things. So first of all, what is imagery? So imagery is nothing but a vivid description of something. Like if I've written a poetry about something, or if I've written anything on any topic, I can actually visually represent that same thing in a much more easy way, so that people get, your reader get an idea beforehand that what he's actually gonna get from that poetry. The same how title works, more or less same is what the visual representations also works, but it is more of kind of something which is much easy to understand, and everybody could, even if you don't have in-depth knowledge of something, you can still get to know more of this. So as it is rightly said somebody, that the poet's job is to make invisible visible, that emotions, the embedded feelings, everything which is deep embedded inside you, which is not visible to the public. So that's the writer's, a poet's job, or you would say it's responsibility, to actually make that thing visible, right, to the general public, or to actually express those things out. So that's how, in that way, how why imagery is important. So there are five major types of sensory imageries which we all know, like human senses, which are visual, auditory, olfactory, gustatory, and tactile, and a few more if you include is bodily kinesthetic and organic imagery. So this is like, sometimes we you have seen, like, poets use phrases like you look your voice feels like it's healing me from inside, or, it's a it's like, something which like seeing you is like seeing heaven. So that's how you visually connect your poetry or something in a most illustrious manner of something, right? So you can connect your poetry or everything into more of depicting something in a very vivid manner, and that too in a very easy to go format. So these are five basic things which everybody knows, I guess. So then there you have, like, why use imagery, why do we need to use imagery? So to set the mood about for the reader as well, that what is the poetry is of going to be like, to evoke the human emotions more from inside, like the emotions which are deep inside you, which is embedded, expresses out more refinedly, because reading is something good. Like when you read something, you can actually imagine those things in your head, like back in the head. If you're reading something, and then you can imagine the whole story. You are reading a novel, you can imagine the whole story. But then if you're gonna represent it in a much more visual and illustrious manner by yourself, like if I give you an example, Harry Potter's, we all know about Harry Potter's, right? J.K. Rowling wrote it. So when she wrote it, we can actually imagine things and stories in our head, in our mind, very beautifully. But when we saw those things in a movie format, then we got to clear the things much more easily, and then we got to know a lot about the same thing, because then we have visually seen it rather than going through the whole book. So it is, I'm not saying that you don't need to read things. It's good to read things and verily, but a good writer also needs to be a good narrator in a way. So, by visually representing your writings and poetry, you can actually narrate many things, which even enhance the experience of as a reader as well. Like you have seen many readers don't like to read plain books which don't have any pictures or anything. But as soon as you include a colorful picture or something inside it, it gets readers get much more excited. That's how cover page, designing a beautiful cover page is also important. Same way, adding pictures in your book is also gives you an upper edge compared to those who have not added it. I'm not saying that, if you don't add pictures, your book will fail. No, many books have done wonderful. But if you want to, attract more and more readers, to attract people, and also to express the scene, the emotions, it's better to depict beforehand. Don't depict everything, but just give an illustrious idea, so that after that, it's the reader's creativity which they can make things up over that thing, right? Uh, then we have, like I've given an example. So this is a page from my own book, which is like it's a book. It's a poetry which is titled "Overthinking." But in front of that, if you would see, it depicts a picture which is the Thinker by Augustus. It's a sculpture, right? It has a picture of a sculpture by Augustus Rodin, which is like carved in 1904. So that's how I tried my best to actually, you could see that from the picture as well. It's something about human thoughts or a deep process of thinking and something. And same on the opposite page, you would find the entire poetry which is titled Overthinking. Like this is you know and then I have, here's one more, like Imagery in Action. So it's like when scenes, you want to depict a particular scene in something, or the same way how movies did it. Like script writers write the stories, or if it's a movie is of a novel adaptation as well. So in same way, if it's an adaptation of something, then you need to depict those things which you have read into a much more refiner way, and into a much more appealing way. So it's better to know that which which painting, which structure, or which visual representation you should use with your poetry, that it suits it. Alongside that, you also need to know that if somebody asks you, so your writing is your imagination, but if the reader is going to read it, they are going to perceive it in their own manner. So, but if you want something that readers should know it from your perspective, that what thought in your mind you wrote that thing, in that way, visual representation of the poetry is very important, right? Like I've given a famous, also added a
Maybe
famous
someone
example.
has a question or something.
Yeah, sorry.
Maybe someone wants to add something to it, to the topic. Like, guys, do you have any questions?
Yeah,
Any?
yeah, sorry, I forgot to, add questions. I was just keep on going on that. Yeah, anybody has any questions or anything?
I have something to say. Maybe you already said it, but I think it's important to let the reader like imagine some things, so some hidden meanings.
No, that's actually a wonderful point. That it's better that the reader should imagine something in his own way, and in its own visualization. But I'm just telling that sometimes it's important only in few cases, when you want your perspective to be presented about something, that reader don't misinterpret the same thing. It's actually protecting things from misinterpretation. Like same way, if you would see Shakespeare's in his writing Keats, he has just given a small illustration over it in the Keats, right? And then he has written the whole paragraph about this. So he has not told everything. He has just given a small representation, that reader don't misinterpret his writings, that this thing meant something very, like many times we said that okay, reader has written a one simple and simple line, but then we misinterpret, no, this line means, must be meaning this particular emotion, this thing, that thing, and we start connecting things, because human brain is always finding relating things with different known facts or other things. So sometimes it's important that you get a reader a starting point, you show them the path that okay, from this particular position and this is the ending side. Now how to connect those things is your own creativity, but at least you should show the reader sometimes that what is the starting point and where it is going to end. If everything is going to sit on the reader's side, then they might perceive your writings into misinterpretation. They might interpret some other meaning of that same poetry. So sometimes it's better. It's not always you should do it. It's just that it's good to have it. Yeah, I guess that summarized your answer.
Yes, but sometimes the reader can interpret more. Like I don't think Shakespeare, when he wrote his pieces or work, I don't think he the. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much, but we comment so much more than what he meant when he wrote it. Actually,
Yeah, so
the
that's as a reader perspective, that's our creativity, and he has many things as send it on open ends. Many things are not closed fully; they are meant for open endings. Like okay, now at the end of it, it's you decide what is gonna be happening in that story or what is gonna be continuous formation. And we have interpreted many things, and in fact, much better in the following years compared to what would have been people would have done. That's good. I'm just telling that this is not you should do always, but in many times, if you're writing something for the niche audience, like something which is for a niche particular something, like I just want this particular audience. For example, if I give you like I'm writing something which is kind of a tradition or something in the uh, if you would say indigenous something like of a if I write something for the indigenous tribe of US and some tradition is unique to those people. So if just gonna write it, many people would interpret those things in a very different way as per their thoughts and understanding. Like for example, there was a very beautiful psychological experiment happened many years back where they just drawed big large lines and in a box format, and they showed it to different people of different regions that what they interpreted. So there the nomads from Africa and other sides, they interpreted those to be large trees, and these are the trunks of the trees, so large forest and a dense forest. Same thing when shown to the people, the children who are living in tier 1 cities of the world, like so they interpreted those to be skyscrapers and something in a way. But how would, as the reader, you will get to know that what the writer meant, was it trees or was it skyscrapers. So in that way it is important in few cases, but not many times. Like 90% of the times it is not required, but sometimes as a writer it's important if you just add a visual depiction of your creation, so that at least reader has the idea that this thing is good. Rest, it's very wonderful that many things get interpreted in their own different manner, and that's actually helps to have enhance your own creativity. But it's good sometimes to at least give the starting point when your subject is confined to a particular space. uh, Anything else?
No, I think you explained that well.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so I guess let's continue. So there's another page from my book which is titled Smile. And in the other side, I've illustrated the famous sculpture by which is Melancholy, which is installed in front of Geneva, Switzerland, that special headquarters, and by Albert Corgi, which actually shows the hollowness and something. So I thought this is the beautiful to depict my poetry in front with the picture. So I have used it in this way. Uh, like this is my interpretation of my poetry was fit with this painting or this sculpture. But sometimes it's good to keep things open-ended as well, but you can also, visually depict your creation or something, which I personally feel is a good idea. That many times you give the readers a perspective and a visual illustration or something that, at least reader has the idea that what things he should keep in mind before reading this, or what I actually meant by writing that entire stuff. So this is what I tried to add few things. Then I have this, you would say, uh, and small activity which I've this thing, found it over many things, so that you can just read this paragraph and just which sense it triggers you. So like if you just read the whole paragraph, in which particular sense you can actually make it out from this thing, that if you this is something which is try to represent things in words, like, many times it's not just that you have to represent it by picture or something. You can actually illustrate your creation into your own imaginative thoughts as well. So the sun rose over the mountain peaks, filling the sky with golden light. A gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of pine, while birds chirped melodiously in the tree. Dew covered grass glistered underfoot. So this is also a depiction. It is not the visual depiction, of course, but by by illustrating your ideas, your imaginations in a much vivid format, you can actually get an idea to the reader that which particular setting you are referring to. So many times it's not just about adding things with the picture, that okay, I have added a beautiful scenery picture, so that is your, like, I want you to imagine this thing only. And if I've just written the depiction of a beautiful scenery where trees were, beautiful birds are chirping, sunrise is hitting, a beautiful lake is flowing next to it, and a small house. So every reader will have their different perspective of the same image. So that is also important. It's not just that you have to add a picture. You can also add a vivid description as well in this. So this is like, so here you can see he has used few human senses. The sun rose over the mountain peaks. So it's like, visually, then you are hearing something, the sweet sense, so you smell that thing. So many times writers do things like starting things with a very vivid description of the area or something, so that everybody has their own image in their mind. So sometimes it's showing them, and sometimes it's helping them to create the image in their own thoughts, in their own mind, so that everybody has their own image and own like own picture of the same particular context. So it's like there's a very beautiful thing which I read once. So it said, there's a beautiful moon. There's a moon. Like I was walking alone in the dark, and a moon shines up. A full moon shines up. So if you are gonna show that thing in a visual format in a movie or something, then you would just add a picture of a moon in the moonlight or something. So everybody would have the same image. But if you're just going to describe the same event in your writings, in your poetry, then every single reader will have their own image of, of the same context. Like every writer will have every reader will have, sorry, every reader will have their own image of the same description, same moon, but in their own perspective, in their own manner. So sometimes you can do that way as well, and yeah, so that is also very much important, like not just adding pictures, but also make taking things, describing things in a very like in-depth manner. So then one more we have this thing which is uh, show but don't tell. So if you are, so the second thing is focus on basically not telling the reader that okay, I had a very wonderful experience, if you just write the one simple line. But on the other hand, you can actually show them what wonderful experience you had. So you can describe the whole day, every moment by moment. So if you say I had a like, how was your day, if somebody asks, so you said it was good. But if you're going to describe every single moment in your creation, in your writing, in your poetry about your day and everything, that actually helps the reader to form an image in his mind about every single activity. So it's good. So rather in your writings, you should, if you're illustrating something, if you're writing, it's better to show them the image, uh, to help them, add much more sensory details to your writing, rather than just telling them one single line that, okay, this thing is done, and this was the day. So this helps your writing, your poetry, your creation to get much more sense, not sense, but actually to give them life, to add life in your writing, that you are describing every single moment, you are adding it. But you don't have to even overload the information, that you just overload things, and but it's better that you give vivid description, so that reader could see what you have imagined in your head. Reader could see your writing actually building around all over his, all over surroundings. So if he's reading something beautiful, reading about some fantasy stories or anything, he can actually visualize those things. If you have given the vivid description, he can actually visualize the whole world, the setting of that area. And in the same way, if you're just going to write a simple line on that thing, it might be that reader don't visualize those things, they might ignore the depthness, they might ignore the sensory ability of the creation. So adding sensory stuff actually helps to give your creation a more, like, to add life in it, to add soul or in your writing, as we say that many writings are living documents. It's because they hold that soul. So how that soul is, it's not just by telling your story, but by showing it. uh, like, for example, if it is written the room was hot, but if you're gonna show it in your writing, so you don't have to show the picture, but you can just write it: the air in the room shimmered with heat, beads of sweat formed in his brow. So this is actually depicting the heat, that how hot the room was. Okay, so there are few things, interact. So for example, here's an example given: he was scared. So if I give you this line that he was scared, how will you describe it? By actually not giving the picture, but actually showing that thing. So how would you build around this thing? If Ria or Enna or Ella, anybody want to answer this,
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe Emna or Ria has some ideas because they are very skilled poetically.
Yeah, they write very beautiful things.
Yeah.
Yes, but we can't write a poem right now.
Yeah, both of you can
Not like a
try.
poem, but for example,
I can, not
as an example, yeah.
just not right now. Sorry, can you repeat the question? Like, I'm
The
sorry.
question is like when you look at the screen, for example, like tell and show. In tell, he has only one sentence. The room was hot. But in the show, like he
Okay.
described this sentence more deeply
Yeah,
and with more
I can.
details. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, okay. So, the coffin was so burning hot that I felt like I was back home. I'm in the freezing cold in Montreal, and I felt like I was back home in the middle of August in the burning heat of. It's not gonna make sense, okay? Of Tunisia. Yeah, I hate the summer here.
Is it about the sentence he was scared or about the sentence the room was hot?
Oh, the room was hot.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That was nice. But the activity is also, can you try it again with the sentence he
Ah,
was
yeah,
scared?
I can. He was scared. Actually, I wrote something about that. Um, just he was scared. That's it.
You just need to describe the sentence he was scared more deeply with more details.
He was like a stray cat, afraid to be touched, afraid of any sensory touch, ready to show his claws and jump at any danger or threat, but but also uh, fearful or afraid, terrified of hurting anybody. That's it.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
actually.
very nice work. Very nice work. Thank
Yeah,
you,
black
Anna.
coffee. This is black coffee magic. Bye.
Ria, do you have something to add? Probably not. Um, yeah, he was scared. Oh, Ria sent us something in the chat.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
sweating bullets, worry about the surroundings, shivering, goosebumps showing.
Wow, that's
That's a good one, yeah, as well.
that's good one. So both of you has written such a wonderful lines in such a short period of time. So that shows you have a very creative mind, and you are very indulged with human emotions and expressions, and you're very easily to connect those things with real world. So yeah.
Yes. Do you have something, Vikas? Do you
So I can make some. So he was scared. Um, well, it won't rhyme right now, I guess.
You don't need to, yeah.
So what I could do is I have an idea. I can add these things in the community. I have many few lines searched those in the coming slides, and we can add normal people as well in the community what they think in this way. Uh,
Yeah,
right?
that
Yeah.
would be nice. Yeah.
We can just, so how you do as well, like you just give the picture to the people and, they have to write on that thing. So, yeah, this is actually a wonderful thing which we can try. So, yeah, both of you has written very wonderful things. So, uh, yeah, so I have a few more here, which is. Which are few examples you can build up on these as well, which is like she was nervous, and then it says her fingers trembled as she twisted the edge of her sleeves, eyes darting towards the clock, and very others as well. So if you want, like, these are a few more, like I have added a lot. So these are few more things which are here to just one is giving an example of telling something and another is depicting it. So that's how you can add your poetry as well. So if you are going through after, rechecking those and editing your poetry, so once you just read out all, you can just think that is there any line which is just telling something and not showing it, So that's how you can improve and enhance your poetry as well. Like when you go through it after writing and completion, when you just go through it, that is there any mistake or something, or is there anything which you can add? So this is one more thing which you can actually improvise upon, that when you just write poetry or anything, you can just see that okay, this line is giving the idea of telling something or actually showing something, that rather it is just giving me the normal and simple description, or it is giving me a very visual illustration, or not to me as well, but to any reader which is reading it, that okay, how beautifully, or how this thing, building the whole world around the same topic, or building the whole world around your poetry or around your creation. So anybody has any questions so far, like? Okay. Oh.
I think it's a very great topic additional um to the call with Evita yesterday. People who also like Emna and Ria also were there, and this is also beautiful. We practice the same thing, like as you tell us here as well, like to to show more in the line than just to tell about something. So this a very beautiful presentation that you prepared today because it makes like it's make like a full picture of all of the stuff we need to understand, and this is great to actually like keep it in mind because I also write my poems way too simple. So it's great to also to understand how to give them more life. Yeah.
So yeah, like even my own poetries, sometimes I feel they are more of a flat poetry, that so yeah, this is also I've learned during the process of preparing this topic, that okay, this is something which is we all as a writer, and need to take, like this is something which is not for the readers, but this is more for the writers, that if your poetry is much more appealing and much more focusing on showing things than telling and stuff, that your poetry don't feel just a flat poem, but something which actually change the whole setting of the room. So that actually helps you make a distinction from other poems as well of your poetry. Alongside that, that also helps you to exemplify your writings and your creations, and help you improve in your and also help your imagination and cure, this world building things, and a lot of things all around you. So there's one
Yeah.
more thing. So there's a picture if you would see, and
I think Emna wanted to say something.
okay, sorry.
Uh, I was no. I was waiting for the end. I was just gonna say like I studied poetry like for maybe 4 years, like French school. So this was actually very beautiful, like the lecture. I'm sorry if I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, no, no, no. Everything's
No, of
great. If
course
you have
not.
anything, you feel free to interrupt. That's why we are here to ask questions, to communicate, definitely. Thank you for the feedback. And yeah, because definitely I agree with Emna as well.
Okay, so this topic is a bit new for me as well. So I hope I'm doing justice to this topic, because I thought, teaching is also a process of learning as well. So if you if you can't learn, you have to learn and prepare things. So I hope I do justice. This is a very delicate topic, and also needs very great level of understanding, and I hope that I deliver justice to this topic, because even my own creations and my own writings are sometimes feel very flat, and so yeah, this is something which I also have to learn as a in me as well. But I thought that why to keep it with just to me, but also to spread words with others. So yeah, uh, this was something. So I hope I deliver justice to this topic, and thank you so much for on this thing. So next is create one or two lines imagery of so yeah, this is an image. If you can see, it is apart not a normal picture, like apart, it's a very visual illustration of some writing or something. So if you could try writing one or two lines about this picture, so that you can actually enhance your own imagination and your own the skill and very idea of depicting something. So, Emna or Ria, if you can just try writing one or two lines around this picture, so take your time and try something. And you can also write it in the chat as well, or if you want, you can read out loud. Uh, Up to you.
Yeah, let's just say we take 2 minutes for that and then we can start. I think yeah, we don't need long for this.
Sure. So,
Actually, I have more to say, but it's okay. I can't.
the
I'm
pic-
tired now. Sorry.
it's okay. The picture
I
scene.
I want to say that they are prisoners. Okay, like after if you want.
Sorry, what do you mean with prisoners?
Yeah, like the animals are prisoners. They wanna come back to life, but they are dead and they are trapped like the prisoners were in the l'allégorie de la caverne. Je sais, I studied in French, so um, do you recognize the name? It's like yeah.
Uh, Actually, I didn't go to any French class,
Sorry, it's in
so so.
philosophy.
Can you please explain us anything a bit? Like, I would love to learn this from you. Um,
Okay, I'm sure you know it. It's very famous. Um, okay, so okay, there are prisoners trapped in uh, how to say this, in a cave. Okay, and there are also fire, and they are looking at shadows in the fire, lingering in the fire, and the shadows are actually us, like the word, the material world, but also the material world is an illusion. So someone is gonna, you don't know it, really? I'm sorry, it's just so famous, like I
Maybe
did, yeah.
not interpreting it. Elia, are you able to, get to the topic or something? Because I think my knowledge about this thing is very
No,
limited.
it's like level one of philosophy, but maybe like I did French school, so it's not the same. Okay, so that's normal. Just Google it later. Yeah,
Can you type us in the name in the chat?
yeah, I
Yeah,
did. Like I did in the little paragraph, Allégorie de la caverne. Oh yeah, I can type it in French if you want.
Yeah, please.
yeah, you just type that thing and we can actually, go through it and
Mhm. Cavern. Is it something like with horses?
No, it's like humans, like trapped in a cave, and they wanna go outside. They think they are seeing the actual world, but they are seeing an illusion because we all are an illusion. That's I think that's what I remember. Okay, so
is it that famous
I didn't
story
focus.
which actually says that, okay, so whatever you are seeing in the cave, the picture in front of you, the fire and all, that's only is what the whole world is. But then there's a rebel who says, no, the world is even outside the cave and, but they are scared to leave the cave and something like that.
Okay, like you are right, but also no, because like the world they are seeing in the shadows, in the fire, is actually an illusion. So even the outside world is just an illusion to the actual world. If
Okay,
you
so Ria has written something that, oh, from a conversation of Socrates and Plato. Oh, well,
yes, yes.
if it is of that level, then we need to have a very deeper understanding of the topic because obviously Socrates, Plato, and all these people, uh, Aristotle, they have, very deep and embedded writing, which is very difficult for a normal people with a normal thinking level to get to these
You are
topics.
not normal people, okay? And I think also that like I like my poetry to be deep, and I know that it's not a criteria for it to be good, but I like it this way. So yeah.
No, it's difficult to write things deep, but if you able to manage to do it, that's wonderful because uh, if you're writing something that's deep meaning and that actually resonates with Socrates, Plato, and others, that that is very commendable and yeah, because it's not easy to connect and relate things in that way. So yeah. Uh, any other questions anybody has, or we should move to the next slide? Uh,
Um, Ria, have you written 1 and 2 lines about this picture that Vikas is showing? Neon animals with green and red, something very silly. Legs of trees, horns of branches, yet it all makes sense to me. Okay, that's nice if it all makes
Wow,
sense to you.
that's also wonderful and a
Yeah,
vivid description of yeah, actually a great writing as well. So uh, in the next one, it is also a descriptive paragraph about your favorite. So yeah, in this way you don't have to write on the picture, but I am giving you, so write a descriptive something about, all five senses, like, seeing, smelling, touching things, hearing. So write something about your own favorite place. Okay, so that you are entering it, so you are seeing things all around you. So try to add all five senses so that even if the reader goes through it, he can also experience all those things which you have written. So if you can, try to add a descriptive paragraph, a small paragraph, or even larger if you like, about your favorite place, but you try to use all five senses, like if you're getting it what I meant to. So.
yeah, got it. Yeah, that's a nice task.
Okay, so
I
Emma is
forgot. Yeah, I forgot about the boat. About
okay.
the boat. Yeah. Okay.
Uh, okay, so you have written something about this
I
photo.
have something to say. Like the little, I don't know how to say boat. Like um sailor. Like the small something is like maybe I'm gonna it's gonna lead me either like to hit the Titanic and die, or to the person I love. Either like I'm gonna sink, or I'm gonna, or maybe sink, die, and be with the person I love in action in heaven, actually, because I'm religious. Okay.
Oh, so that's wonderful.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so yeah. So that thing actually, there's a very story or a poetry or something which I've read. It's about it's a famous love story. So it is like, this is also like dying and meeting in the heaven. So there was a girl who loves a guy, and the guy also loved that girl, but their parents were not happy for their love, like, because the girl was from a very rich family of something, and the guy was not that
Romeo and
rich.
Juliet.
No, it's not that. It's a bit different, So what happened was, so his father married the girl to some other guy, uh, and that the men who used to love that girl actually got mad in her love, and always. So he left everything, all his home and everything. So the girl's house, the new house where she was married, was next to a river. And there she used to live with her new husband, but she always misses her for lover. Okay, so what she used to do is she used to grab what do you say that a pot, right? Pot made of mud, and since the pots are lighter, so with the help of pots, she used to cross that river, And every night she used to go and meet her lover the next side of the river where he used to live. One time, what happened was, someone who saw her doing all this, next night that lady changed the pot with something with a pot which is much heavier, which is not that lighter, which will sunk eventually in the river. What she was going through it, and while she was sunk, she started sinking in the river because that pot was unable to support her. And seeing this, her lover actually jumped in the river to save her, but he also didn't knew how to swim, and they both died in that river. But and it was written that okay, so they were never able to be together while living, but they died and now they are like one in the heaven. So I've read it few years back, and I thought this is the same story, which is like, if I die also, then we can finally connect. So they finally managed to connect with each other, but only after their death. So this is a heaven, the lake I saw. I so desperately want to touch, sink deep in it. The trees surrounding it, the beautiful clear sky, all of it. The heavenly sound of the birds dancing nearby, showing it. But heaven, you're not here. It's not heaven. It's a place between heaven and earth because heaven is only ever with you. Yeah, that's actually a wonderful thing. Uh, Yeah, so it's like, without you, if I'm going to heaven, if it is without you, then it is hell for me.
Yeah, I wrote about that. So
Yeah,
I
anything
wrote
which,
a poem about
yeah,
it. No, no, not now.
okay. Ria, anything you would like to share about your favorite place, something. So you added few senses. So this is heaven. So you're seeing it. So yeah, the lake is so just want to touch, sink deep, and the trees surrounded it, beautifully clear sky all over heavenly. So you're hearing it as well. Near by the shadowing it, but heaven, you are not here. Um, okay, so you try to add, but one sensory is left, which is the sense of the lovers. Describes the place is dear to me in is a place of a world of books. Can't eat it, but you can't. Oh, okay. Sorry. Uh, I mixed that up. Okay, so Ria has written something. So if I show you my favorite place, you would see books arranged alphabetically in shelves. It would smell like dusty old papers. You can hear the pages flipping here and there, and you can feel the the delicate thin pages. You can't eat it, but you can taste the sweetest lines of cookbooks and recipes described. The place so dear to me is a place, the world of books. Yeah, so that is, you have added all five free sensories, and that seems to be a very beautiful place. And actually, that's what I would say is heaven for me. Because, yeah, having all around books and, a lot of things, yeah. I remember you, Ilya, you made me smell my book, when I first had it. I opened it in front of you all, and you said, why don't you just take a smell? Yeah, so I remember that, and yeah, it reminds me of that as well. And I wasn't able to send you copy till now, but I'll try doing it as soon as I leave this hill station, go to some city, so that I can post it gratefully. Well, yeah, you were saying something. Sorry, I interrupted in between.
Oh, no, no, I just want to say great work, Emna and Ria. Really great stuff that you're writing so fast and so on point. It's great. I love both of them. They are different, but still it's very clear, detailed description. So thank you very much for this. And yeah, great task, Vikas, definitely. I know the moment as well, like the hot seat when you've received your books. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. So yeah, this is we can try, if you can also try sometimes, you can just take any think of an topic and start adding, imagining stuff. Like if you like, yeah, we write poetries by something, so you can also just keep on writing and imagining things and adding every sensory detail to it. So might be someday that you are also writing a novel and we are seeing a movie on it. So yeah, that would be easy, wonderful. So, try to add sensory descriptions about anything, like, and try to use more and more senses, all five of them, and as possible. And, that actually helps you to even refine and think of the moment. And once you've written everything in the sensory aspect, and when you're going to read it, you're actually going to feel every moment. So, like, as here, Ria has written, so you can actually, I show you my favorite place. So you can actually feel like, the door is opening of a favorite place and something. And you can, when you see the books are arranged, the smell of the book, so that you can recognize, okay, if you have had smelled a book or something. So, you can actually smell it or something. So the same way, by depicting some things in a sensory ability, you can actually visualize and give the reader a greater point, that how the reader will also get an immersive experience of your writing. That okay, he can also feel, he will also try to touch those things, he will also try to smell, try to see those things and hear the sounds. So that's how, by adding sensory things to your writing, you can actually give the reader a, a immersive experience, a practical experience like never before. That's how you could do it, like, and rest is, I guess, yeah, there are a few important points and a Q&A if you had any. So it's like, imagery is more of painting with words. So it's not just always with painting, it is actually painting with words. So describing the whole portrait with words, and like it's giving that vivid description, like both of you has given the description of your favorite place, or the images of those animals. So that's how you had painted the whole image. So in this way, nobody has to, if I just send both of these paragraphs to somebody which you have written about your favorite place, one is in the heaven and another one in the paradise of books. So if I just write those things or read those things, I don't need to see those things image in a visual format. I can actually make the image in my own mind. So that's how you have painted something, you're sculpting something with your words. And like try to involve more and more senses in it, uh, like all five senses or maybe more. And that's how you can make your writing come to life, and add soul to your writing. Because if you're just reading something, that's just telling it. But if you gonna form it something, then you can actually shape it and give it a vivid description or something, experience basically to the reader. And as it is rightly said that practice makes a man perfect. Uh, so yeah, like if you keep on practicing those things, it is actually going to enhance you. And use strong and strong verbs, and description, much use enhanced maxim words in your vocabulary. And be specific, that you don't overload information with the reader, that he don't get confused. And yeah, like use metaphors, like Emna beautifully used the metaphor that meeting in the heaven. So yeah, use beautiful metaphors and similes and various other poetic devices which are there, like oxymorons, hyperbole, or various others. You can use those, and that's how you can actually describe those things. So anybody has any questions, anything which you would like to discuss, or any thing, like
Well, I don't think so. I think everything was clear for me at least.
Yeah, it's very
Emna?
beautiful, I think. But my energy is out, so sorry.
Ria as well, don't have any questions. Then I will say we can just say thank you, Vikas.
Yeah, Ria
What do you
has
think
no
about?
questions. He said, I don't have any questions.
Yeah,
Well, okay. I hope I delivered justice to this topic because, uh, this is
yeah,
something which is a bit new for me as well. Uh, and if you have any suggestions for the upcoming topic, like for you can directly message me. Thank you so much, Emna, that I did it. And yeah, you can give me any other suggestions you want, or any topic to be discussed, or any questions regarding it, or anything. You can message me anytime. And yeah, thank you so much. Uh, I guess that's all. Thank
yeah.
you, everyone, for attending.
You can stop the recording yet.
Yeah, wait, stop the share. Yeah, okay. And